Alright everyone, what's going on? We are driving, our first day of driving to West Virginia. We're in the middle of some fields right now, and I figured what better thing to do than do a Q&A on Instagram. We have a lot of good questions, so we're just gonna go ahead and get right into them. Everyone, good morning. Today is our first day of our road trip. This is like a rack that goes on the roof, so this might be, it might be covering your head when you talk. Yeah, no, not really.
I need to figure out how to move this thing.
I'm too short. We're in DC right now, and today is the 25th. It's Tuesday. Today marks our the start of our 5-day adventure road trip across the country to move his butt in with me. Very excited about it. We have about a few hours before we have to leave for stop number 1. Of course, we're getting a lift in because what else would we do? I lost 2 pounds. I'm very excited about that. Typically, when I'm making progress for my first few weeks of a cut, I haven't in the past seen progress right away. Like I usually kind of see it after like week 3, 4, 5-ish. Like my body kind of just doesn't really show it on the scale or that much, but I haven't weighed myself except for like I've weighed myself twice so far, and it's been the end of week 1 and the end of week 2-ish, and a lot of this cut so far has been like ish, but it's still going, which is like awesome. I traveled for 14 hours yesterday. I was like probably dehydrated, and I still woke up this morning a pound lighter than I weighed a week ago. So the scale is not always going to be like the best representation of your progress, but I definitely feel like I look better as well. Like I feel tighter, I feel a little bit better. My energy is really good. I did not get jet lagged at all. Got verified on Twitter this morning. It's a good morning. Large majority of the questions so far, like very large majority of them, asking if Brian and I are getting a puppy. Yes, we're gonna get one. I've been dying to get a dog for so long, and the reasons that I haven't got one before is number 1, because I travel a lot and I didn't want to get a new dog, and like you have to be home when you get a new puppy. And number 2, I didn't have anyone to take care of it if I did happen to leave. So now I have Brian, I have Carrie. I want to actually stay home more, and I'm planning on staying home more. I'm not going to be traveling as much because I much prefer like being home. That's going to be soon. Probably not like this month, but soon. It'll be soon. I'm still doing powerlifting, and I'm not necessarily going to do another powerlifting meet anytime soon, but I am still training squat, bench, and deadlift quite often and focusing on strength. So I'm not like doing only powerlifting. When you're competing in powerlifting, or when you're competing in bikini, or when you're competing in anything, you have to put your training focus on just that. But I like to focus on a lot of different things. I always say that I'm just living life. If I'm just living life and not competing in anything, I like to do a lot of different things because it's fun. It's more fun to me. So I'm still focusing on strength, but not enough to make it super taxing and not enough to make it like that's the only thing that I'm able to focus on. Brittany, Nicole, Kates. Brittany, Nicole, Kates. What do you do when creepy guys move machines in front of you and stare the entire time when you're working out? That's quite the funny question. You know when you just feel like someone's eyes are staring directly at your butt? It's really fucking disgusting and annoying. I pretend that I honestly don't really say anything. I kind of just like either move or like look really angry. It's really quite ridiculous that guys still pretty much just get away with being like that quite often, but those guys are probably pretty sad in their love life, so I kind of just ignore it because I feel bad for them. My back hurts pretty bad from flying yesterday. I was on a plane for many hours, so I shouldn't deadlift today. Maybe I'll just do rack pulls. Yeah, I'll just do rack pulls, which is a deadlift without like the lower part of the deadlift, so it takes lots of pressure off the lower back. Yeah, we'll just do that. Sam Brand Fit asks, $1 million, but you have to have armpit hair for the rest of your life, yes or no? I'm gonna go ahead and say no, and that doesn't make me a not feminist. Like, you can have armpit hair if you want to, like that's totally fine, but I don't want to. I have a lot of hair because I am Italian, so I just don't want to. Maybe like $1 billion. Oh, that was good. Someone asked, did you ever lose your period while you were on bikini prep, and how did you get it back? I've talked about this in a few videos. Yes, I did. I actually lost it for about a year, and every other competitor that I know that has lost it, we've all been to doctors, and the doctors typically say, like, you're just active, it's okay that you lost it, and you still haven't gotten it back, but I don't think that is true, and the only time that I found it did come back when I stopped tracking completely and I just ate, and I ate far more than I needed to, because that's kind of what helped get my hormones back to normal. So the only time that I gained it back was when I was eating in a big surplus, and I still have it back now. So my health is back in order, and doctors kind of just brush that off because I don't really think they know the answer. So I don't really necessarily know the answer, but I just feel better that it's back, I suppose. Does Brian ever grab your butt? Yes, he does. And if your boyfriend doesn't grab your butt, get a new one.
Guilty.
Me what my definition of greatness is if I were to ever be on the Lewis House podcast, the School of Greatness podcast. If you guys don't listen to that, you should. And I'm going to save that answer for when I'm on the School of Greatness podcast. So stay tuned because I will be on it one day. Lewis, if you're watching, he's probably not watching. I'm going to save that answer. If you can only take one supplement for the rest of your life, what would it be and why? Probably caffeine because, yeah. Chrissy May Cagney. You knew every female between the ages of 10 to 14 would hear it. What would you say for them to prepare them for life from 14 to 24? That is a really good question. She rocks. But 10 to 14-year-olds, I feel like most young girls just need to be prepared to be independent in life. And my mom did a really, 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 really good job of this for me. She taught me to always be incredibly independent, never to rely on anybody else in terms of like getting things for yourself or like literally getting anything that you want in life. And with that, you need confidence and you need a lot of self-awareness. I would encourage young girls to do hard and difficult things in terms of like starting a new sport or like reaching out to new different friend groups. I would encourage girls to not get discouraged when they may not be involved in a certain friend group, or to not be discouraged if they're like not like popular or whatever. I would say to just be highly independent, and not just independent in terms of creating an income or like anything like that. Just be independent of your own happiness. Like it comes from within, and you can't let other little people kind of dictate how you're feeling and your happiness. Like if this popular person is doing this and it makes you feel bad about yourself, I would tell them to kind of just like always be introspective and always understand that their happiness is from up here, not from outside.
That was great.
What is the number one best investment you've ever made? I think my initial answer to that question, I immediately thought of the mastermind that I just joined back in January with Lewis House. My number one best investment was that, because I paid a decent amount of money to be in this program for the entire year. It has honestly just opened up my mind to so many different people, so many different opportunities, and so many different things that I could do to enhance my life. And the people in the group are just so, it's not just like money focused because everyone's an entrepreneur. Everyone's focused on making more of an impact and having value, and how they can bring better value. This is like so shaky. I think I'm just gonna hold it. I think I'm just gonna hold you guys because it's a little shaky. Everyone's just really focused on how they can bring a better impact to the world, and that's something that I always strive to think about. So being in a group of people that are really on like a high level of thinking makes me feel like I'm like the least successful person in the room, and it just makes me strive to be better, and that's absolutely the best investment that I've ever made. Have you ever lived with a significant other before? Is there anything you're nervous about or will be a surprise or different when living with Brian? Also so happy for you both. Fit_and_dedicated asked that question. Thank you. I have not lived with a significant other before, and honestly, there's not really much that I'm nervous about because him and I have talked about so many things that we would be nervous about, and we've kind of squashed them already. Like, I think most people are worried about like little small things that the person does that they don't know about yet, and like I think the biggest issues just come from lack of communication, and him and I are both really good at communication, especially because we did long distance for a really long time, so communication was like the only thing we could do. So we've gotten really good at communication, so we're honestly not worried. Yes.
Had too much caffeine. I've had too much caffeine and not enough water. I'm struggling.
Oh my god, do you want to switch?
Oh no, I'm good. I'm just being Bucci.
My back is just all kinds of jacked up from flying, so we're trying, but I usually have very good form, and even with good form, it just feels like a pull on my lower back, so I just don't really ever recommend even just trying to do your set if you actually feel really bad. Like, I just might need to spend more time doing mobility work and just give it a little bit of rest, I guess, because it was just in a very weird position on the plane. So I think I'm just gonna finish the rest of my workout. I'll do some more light sets of that just to get some more volume in. Yeah, take it as a loss, but it's all good. What is the biggest flaw you've seen in yourself, and how did you push past it for true self-love? That is a really good question. Oh, hey, Liz with 2 Z's asked that question. I think the biggest flaw that I've seen in myself in the past is that I am really, or have been, really hyper-focused about what other people think, and I'm also a pretty big worrier and a complainer. Like, I often have to pull myself back and think about the fact that I shouldn't be worried about what other people think that often, but like, I'm a social media influencer and I should be because it's part of my job, so it makes that character flaw of mine even more difficult to deal with because I have to deal with it every single day on a daily basis. And I also have to pull myself back from like complaining and worrying. Not necessarily worrying, I guess just like complaining too often. So in order to push past that, I have done a lot of things to build my own confidence in myself. And like, if you haven't listened to my How to Be Confident AF podcast, you should listen to that. And I've also just always focused on like gratitude now, so I'm always just focused on perspective and how that quote that 90% of your life is how you react to things, determined by how you react to things, not what happens to you. So I always try to just think about that and put whatever's going on into perspective and just really try to understand that better. Would you ever lift with a follower of yours? I'd love to come to LA from Central California to lift with you. Michaela Murr. Sorry, I thought it said Mike at first. So my answer to that is that I struggle to lift with people, even people that are like long-term friends that I haven't seen in a while, or people that I've never met before. Getting an actual lift in with somebody, like, you don't actually work out. So you basically just meet up at the gym and talk the whole time. So I would love to do a meetup in California at some point soon. Maybe Brian will do it. But I'd rather do a meetup and like have time to talk, especially if I'm meeting someone new, like a follower. I'd love to talk to you and like pick your brain, and I'm sure you'd love to pick mine. But in a gym setting, like we just wouldn't work out. We would just talk the whole time, which is fine. But that's my answer to that. Even with like new friends and stuff, or like friends I haven't seen in a while, if I'm gonna go to the gym to work out, I actually want to get like a workout in, you know? What's one of your favorite memories you've had with Emily Hayden Fitness? Story time. I automatically just think of literally like the first time we went to Vegas together. It was our first time ever hanging out. We drove to Vegas together. We worked at the Olympia, and we just spent like the entire time getting to know each other and having fun. And we were both in like this really funny spot in life, and we kind of just like evolved our friendship from there. So it's not really a story, but like our first time ever hanging out, I just absolutely love. This is a question for the both of us. Nanis Osorio. What does your parents say about you guys moving in together since you guys have only been dating for a few months? Sorry, that was not on the screen. Ah! Brian can answer from over there.
What did my family say? I called my parents while I had them both be available. I was laying on my bed. I told them what was happening. And they were like, as long as it makes you happy, we can see how happy you are. Go for it.
Literally, my parents said the same thing. It was just ultra support. We both have really great families, and they're both very supportive of us, and we are very, very lucky and blessed for that reason.
Yes.
Love you, Mom and Dad. Say
Love you guys.
When and how did you know you were in love with Brian? Like the first day that we met? I don't know. I just know. I think I said it like the first weekend. Second day we hung out. I don't know.
I knew about the same.
When you know, you know. If you had to lose one of your 5 senses, which would it be and why? McKenna, Dalton. We both say smell. The smell is nice and all, but I'd rather be able to see, hear, listen to music, listen to podcasts, listen to people talk, taste food. Oh yeah, someone asked like if you have struggle with protein farts. Yes, that has happened to me, and then if we didn't have that sense, we wouldn't have to worry about it. Any fitness goals you have yet to achieve? Yes, I would literally love to be able to do like an Ironman or something like that. I don't think I'll ever push myself to that limit because that's quite an extreme for training wise, but that would be really cool. That would just be so badass. Like, if you guys know who Ashley Horner is, I don't know if you people who don't, she literally ran for 24 days straight for a charity. Like, she is a badass. She just can do anything. Do you feel like your fat distribution has changed when you first started your fitness journey? Yeah, I have. As you grow muscle and put on muscle, something about your fat distribution, you just look leaner at a higher body fat percentage, and I absolutely have noticed that. It's the heaviest I've ever weighed, and I feel like I still look pretty good. I don't think I would think the same thing because of the muscle mass I've built since. What is your goal weight for the end of your cut? I don't really have a weight that I would like to hit. I feel like it's more of a feeling and a look. I don't know. I don't really have a goal weight. Like, I kind of just want to find a place that I feel really happy and comfortable and kind of just stay there. And I don't know what that weight looks like. It might be like 125. It might be like 128. I don't really know. Favorite Lululemon leggings, the Align pants. I wear them in every single picture, likely every single video. If you ever comment on my videos and ask what leggings I'm wearing, they are the Lululemon Align pants. That's it. Who's the better cook, you or Brian? I would probably say him. I'm not like the best cook, but I can cook. I just don't that often, but he does more often than I don't think either of us are better though.
If you didn't have bite meals, you would have to though.
I bite meals and meal prep companies, and when I do cook, I don't really get very fancy.
I don't. You know? If I have a protein source, a carb source, and like some sauce or like seasoning, I'm good.
Yeah, we're both pretty simple when it comes to cooking.
Throw it all together.
What was your favorite thing about your recent visits to the UK, and which country would you travel to next? I love meeting everybody in the UK. Everyone's so fun, lovely, like everyone's so just nice, and I loved hearing all of the different UK slang. So fun, like cheeky, and like everyone says that they're going on a holiday instead of a vacation, and everyone said that they're so gutted that they couldn't meet me at FitCon. I just like all that kind of different slang is so funny. It's not funny, it's like you guys are just, that's just the way you talk. And which country would you like to travel to next? I have been dying to go to Australia. I did not make it to the Arnold Australia this past year, just for timing purposes and stuff like that, but I would love to just go to Australia and likely a few other places in Europe as well. How do you keep such a positive mindset during a caloric deficit? When it comes to being in a caloric deficit and keeping a positive mindset, honestly, I've been in that place where I was like a huge bitch to everybody that that I was around when I was in a deficit. And I always try to think about, like, I shouldn't make one person feel bad because I'm dieting, or I shouldn't be angry to this person just because I'm kind of hungry or whatever. Like, I just try to think about living my life, and then like the dieting and like the caloric deficit is just in the background of it, honestly. So just keeping a positive mindset by like not thinking about it. Don't give it that much power, don't give it that much energy or attention. How do you and Brian deal with jealousy, if any, or ways to combat or ways to combat getting jealous with social media? We don't deal with that. I don't know.
I think we have a common understanding that we want to be with each other.
Yes.
And if we didn't want to be with each other, we wouldn't be with each other.
I think that's the thing too. Like, I feel like even when I was single, I wasn't just trying to date everybody. Like, I wasn't at all, actually. So the fact that I even like just stuck with one person, just stuck with a person, not one person. The fact that we even just decided to choose each other as significant others, that just means that we want to be with each other and no one else. And even when I was single, I didn't want to be with anybody else because I didn't really have that like strong emotional connection to anybody else. So I think that for us, that's just, we already knew that kind of going into it, and that kind of makes the whole jealousy thing not even really a thing. Are you a dreamer or a logical? That's a good question. I'm definitely, isn't that a good?
That's really
What
good.
are you?
I think I'm naturally logical, and I have to force myself to be, not like force myself to be a dreamer, but I feel like the logical part of my brain is constantly trying to cut down the dreamer part of my brain. And I have to consciously try to fight that.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I'm definitely more of a logical person, and I always think about things like sequentially or like step by step, or like how-tos kind of thing, as opposed to just like, oh, that would be great. You know, I try to be more spontaneous and dream-like, and I have to like force myself to do that. Sharita Fit, what have you learned for yourself so far on Project Me? And the thing that I've learned the most is that I can still make progress without tracking things so strictly, and that I can still enjoy myself so much and like not weigh anything. Because before I was on prep and I would always make it a point to be pretty on point because I could, and this time I'm making it a point to try to not be so strict, and it's going very well, and I'm very happy, and I can envision myself doing this kind of thing for quite a long time, like still tracking but kind of just being more mindful as opposed to being more like this has to be this and this. Like the last video I showed you guys, like the leniency levels, like they don't have to be like a 9 or a 10 all the time. Like they can still be a 7 or 8, and you can still make progress and you can still be happy. So that is what I've learned. Thank you guys so much for watching this Q&A. I know it went a little bit long here, but I will catch you guys in the next video. Next video will have our entire road trip documented, the whole thing, start to finish. You guys will see that in the next video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. The mecca of food when not dieting and when dieting.
And chicken.
Salad bowl? I'm sorry? For here. No rice. I'll have a side of beans. I'll have some veggies, fajita veggies. Actually, I'll get steak.
That's already my other one.
That's good, yeah. Steak, veggies, pico. It's basically just meat and vegetables. And then this is a little carb and a little bit of fat. I'm gonna have like half of this, and then I'll just have a little bit of guac and just track a little bit of it. And then Brian got mine times 3.
Having enough rice for the both of us?
There you go. Thanks, babe.